Morning.
We'll start with Kirsten in the second row.
Dave, we've talked a lot about Tyler Glasnow and how he's evolved this season, and even when Mark Pryor was talking about him, he's noticed that he's gotten away from forcing himself to be perfect in his outings, just kind of locking in early. What stood out to you in his Phillies outing that you're hoping to see from him today in this one?
I think what stood out most is he's in compete mode. I think that, trying to be perfect, worrying about things that are, out of your control. I think that those are things that he's, stayed away from and focused on making pitches, staying in the moment, and being in compete mode. And when you're like that, I think you're going to get the best of Tyler, and I think he's done that and gotten considerably better, and the performance has, reflected that.
Okay, I'm going to go Claudia in the first row.
Dave, defense is a big part of the postseason. How critical is a clean execution in a matchup like this?
Very important. I think certainly in the postseason, everything is more magnified. You get 27 outs. The other team gets 27 outs. And for the most part, when you don't give up extra outs, extra bases, certainly you give yourself the best chance to win. And that's an opportunistic team over there. And so when you give them extra outs, give them extra bases, it just increases their chances. So up to this point, we've done a really nice job of that.
And how much do moments like this define the identity of a team?
Yeah, this is our identity. This is who we are. We pride ourselves on, not beating ourselves, minding the little things, because like I said, in the postseason, things get magnified, and so the little things turn out to be big things. And so I feel like this is what we do all year long, and it's kind of showing itself in the postseason.
Okay, straight back, Jack.
To ask you the story of the day yesterday, what'd you think of Shohei taking BP on the field, and how'd he look?
He looked great. I like that. Shohei doesn't take BP on the field virtually ever, and which I understand in the sense that a lot of times in the cage, your focus is more narrowed because of the cage, and you're more line drive driven. But to kind of change things up, to get on the field, to see the flight of the baseball is also important. And I appreciate him kind of changing up his routine, and we got his walk-up song played. There was some fun, some laughs, and all the while him getting his work in. So I thought that was a good thing. It was great.
Do you think there's something visually, just seeing, a ball hit the roof of the pavilion, that even that part of it can help him as he's working through this right now?
Yeah, but I think, like I said, seeing the flight of the ball, seeing the ball backspun, and seeing what it's doing, and see it land on the roof in right field, that's certainly not a bad thing.
Okay, we're going to go back behind the camera. Dave Vassay.
David Vassay, AM 570.
Good morning, Dave.
Do you need my backstory?
No thanks, not this time, not at this time.
Sounds good. Following up on Ohtani, do you feel like this is a product of him kind of feeling the urgency of not being able to get results in the postseason, to be able to change up his routine and do something that he hasn't done all season?
Absolutely. We talk about the postseason is like a street fight, and not like a boxing match. And with that, there's urgency. And I think that, if this was a regular season situation and you're looking at a span of small sample, 8, 9 games, whatever it might be, he probably wouldn't be out in the cage or wouldn't be out on the field. So with the urgency, the postseason, then he needs to make an adjustment, wanted to make an adjustment on his own, and that adjustment was getting on the field. So I think that that's a great thing in his understanding and appreciation for playing with urgency.
You go here to Sonia in the second row.
Dave, you've already gotten pretty deep into this Brewers bullpen the last 2 games, and you'll be seeing Aaron Ashby for the 3rd time. How do you kind of take what you've seen from him in the first 2 and, use that information going?
I think it's information that we're gathering. We've put them in a position where they have to really play with urgency. And when you're speaking to the pitching, they've got to continue to use their high leverage guys as much as they can. And for us, it's important to continue to apply pressure and put the onus on them, on Murph, to continue to, keep running his high leverage guys out there. And getting another look at Ashby is important for us, and I just expect us to, keep taking at bats, and whoever they go to next, be ready for them.
You were kind of on the other side of that with the bullpen last year. Does having pieced that together in the past, make you better prepared to kind of anticipate what they do and get to their pen when they have to use pitching creatively this year?
I wouldn't say it prepares me more, because that's a managing decision on, at what point do you go with, lower leverage guys to not give the opponent similar looks. And so that's a decision each manager has to make. And again, it just goes to us continuing to make that decision difficult for them. So we got to pitch well. We've got to convert outs when given the opportunity, and then, take good at bats. And I like our chances if we do that.
We're going to go to Jason on the right.
Dave, obviously all your starters, except for Yamamoto, spent time on the injured list. That would include Sasaki. When that happened, when they were all out, did you look at that moment in time as trying to prepare them for this moment, for the postseason, and try to ramp them up for this? And did you use that time to maybe hit the reset button with anybody and make some tweaks?
Yes. I think it's kind of layered in the sense of our goal was to win the World Series. None of those injuries at that point in time, whether it's Blake Snell, whether it's Tyler, whether it was Clayton, anyone, where it was going to be longer term. So we felt that we have to make sure that the ramp up process was sound, not rushed, to make sure that they could be ready for the postseason, right? So I think our training staff, coaches, did a fantastic job. And the other part was it gave opportunities to guys like Sheehan, Robleski, and others to then help their development. And so I think that with that, we've done a great job of kind of the now, getting the younger players, they're cutting their teeth as starters, getting innings, and then also having our other guys save bullets and getting ready to go throughout the postseason. So it's been, I don't think you could have lined up any better, Jay.
We'll take 2 more. Take Bill over here on the left.
Yeah, Dave, the Gold Glove finalists were announced yesterday, and Mookie Betts is a finalist at shortstop. We've talked about his position switch throughout the year, but how much of an achievement is that for a guy first full season at a position?
I think the only person on this planet that believed that Mookie Betts would be in this conversation was Mookie Betts. And, it's just something that it's never been done. I can't even, it's incredible. I can't even, obviously I'm at a loss for words that he's in this position where last year, the confidence wasn't there playing shortstop and, kicking him out to right field to help our ball club, to kind of wondering if it was the right decision to put him at short, to then now being a Gold Glove finalist, being so trustworthy, and I feel he's very, very warranted in winning a Gold Glove. And so to kind of add to his hardware, it's pretty amazing. So hats off to Mookie. And also, Miggy Rowe's a finalist. And I think Miggy Rowe undoubtedly should get this Gold Glove award. His ability to catch the ball at any position, sure-handed, the spectacular play. So I think they both deserve it, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go to Jim in the middle.
Doc, At this stage of the season, are you more inclined to stay with a starting pitcher rather than go to the bullpen in like the 6th or 7th, or does it depend on situations and what's happening in the game?
I am. I think I've shown that. But it still depends on each individual game. How the pitcher's throwing, efficiency, how the hitters are taking at bats versus that particular pitcher. I'm in read and react mode, but I think, Jim, I've shown that, if they earn it, then I'll run them out there deeper.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, guys.